And I said, I have $15,000. We were going to pay you guys. What can I do with this? Can I feed people? And so he looked at it and said, I think I can do something. Now my goal was 1,000 meals. Like I thought that would be pretty cool.
Fantastic. Yeah.
He came back and said, for the amount of money, he thought we could do 5,000 meals.
Marty Osborne in Greenville, South Carolina, at the next center that you volunteer in addition,
yeah.
Right? It's such a good space, and you're an important part of the ecosystem here in Greenville. So to talk a little bit about one of the toughest time periods in our lives. I like to say that March of 2020 was the hardest year of my life.
Yeah.
It really was this painful time. And you were able to create a win out of one of those painful events. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, we all know those painful events of COVID, but every year we put on a user conference, and we have 350 people come to Greenville first week in May. Great events, training, meals, events, and so forth. And obviously, March hit. Nobody knew. They thought it was 2 weeks, and then we're like. Hit April and we're like, we got to pull out. We can't do a live event. And so we went to all our vendors and they all basically let us out of our contract. So hotels, meals, spaces, so gracious, for people to do that. And so we kind of felt bad because the restaurant business was obviously getting hurt.
Slammed.
Slammed,
yeah,
it shut down. And
yeah.
So we had $15,000 that we had set aside for meals. People had already paid for the event. We moved to an online, model and so forth. And so we're like, we want to give back. And we had a program called Connect for Good. So our conference was Connect. How could we do something for good? So we took $15,000. I met with one of the head of Sobeys restaurant, a restaurant here in town, Carl. And I said, I have $15,000. We were going to pay you guys. What can I do with this? Can I feed people? And so he looked at it and said, I think I can do something. Now my goal was 1,000 meals. Like I thought that would be pretty cool.
Fantastic. Yeah.
He came back and said, for the amount of money, he thought we could do 5,000 meals. Again, kind of blew me away. Like we can give away 5,000 meals. So the first week we get ready and we're working with my church and another building next door that's low income housing. We were going to feed them. And I had 300 meals, and I'll never forget this. My pastor called me because they did a lockdown and said anybody caught outside would be arrested, sent to prison. Like they were trying to lock down. And she calls me and says, we can't do tomorrow's meal. I got 300 meals sitting. I got to give away.
Yeah.
And I just kind of laughed. I said, well, Susan, think of the prison ministry we could do. But she didn't think that was funny. So anyways, I called my neighbor. She runs the ER for Prisma Health here in town. I said, I have 300 meals. Can I feed first responders? And they were like, great. So we came in, we started feeding nurses, the ambulances were coming in, because that was a crazy time.
It was crazy.
And it was like the smiles, like the pictures of just giving a meal away. And so we ended up every week all over the community giving away 5,000 meals. Well, people started hearing about it, started donating, and our $15,000 went to $70,000. We had 15,000 meals. And then there was a program called the CARES Act, which was government to give back, like how can we do something in the community but create jobs? And they heard about this, they said, this is perfect. And we applied for a grant, we got another $1 million. And we ended up doing like 75,000 meals in 1 year and over $1 million. And just the hearts, the smiles, we got pictures. Like it was really something that was really bad turned into something really amazing.
Well, you tend to be able to do that a lot. So thanks, Marty. Appreciate you doing it.
Yeah.
We can't do Entrepreneur Studio without our sponsors. Please support them because they're supporting entrepreneurship.